Hey there, fellow rock tumblers. Are you ready to start another tumbling video? I know I am. For this video, let's take all these rocks here, which, if you watch my videos, you might have seen a series I've called Agate Throwdown. Got many rounds of that. These are the rocks from that video series. So these are just miscellaneous agates, most of which came from West Texas, many of which came from the Coconut 06 Ranch, that I cut in half for that little video series. And now, let's see how well all these will tumble. These should be beautiful. Most of them are good-looking agates. There are a couple that will probably be duds, but for the most part, I'm expecting some really good results once these things get tumbled smoothly and polished brightly. Well, let's find out. I'm gonna take all these, get them in a 6-pound barrel, add some 6090 silicon carbide coarse grit, and start the process. I'll keep these rolling in the barrel for as long as it takes to make them nice and smooth. Once they're nice and smooth, I'll bring them back in here and I'll show you what they look like before moving them onto the polishing stages. Check it out. After several weeks, these Agate Throwdown rocks are finally ready to move on to the polishing stages. I tweaked up a couple of them on the capping machine because I was just tired of waiting for them to get smooth enough for the polishing. I think we're going to have some really good ones in here. A couple of these will be duds, but I believe many of them, once they get a shine on them, are going to be beautiful. Lots of these mossy agate ones, some quartzy ones, and just a miscellaneous batch. So let me go ahead and get these in the vibratory tumbler now. I'm going to go for about 10 days. I'll use 4 different grits, and after that final 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish, I will bring these back in here and show you what they look like. Well, what do you think? All of these Agate Throwdown rocks have finally been polished. I tell you what, we've got some really good looking rocks in here, so let me show you some of the nicer ones up close. Here's a good example of one of the more interesting rocks. Now, I have to point out that many of these are not tumbled flawlessly, but I wasn't going to keep them in the coarse grit until they're just tiny little rocks. I had to keep some of these flaws. Look at that. That's not even really a flaw. You've got a beautiful little vug, a little crystal vug, and then all of that incredible mossiness in there. Wow, that is just stunning. Look at that, that shade of red. That's like blood red, isn't it? Yeah, how cool. That West Texas blue is on full display in this beautiful little agate here. Look at this thing. And this is another example of one of those rocks that there was no way to tumble it smoothly. It was just way too coarse on the outside. And besides, I think that contrast is really interesting. And it brings out that incredible blue color and some of the designs and pattern within it. Several of these are moss agates. Look at this one. When you get it up close like that, wow, really does look like moss in a stagnant pond. Oh, that's incredible stuff. I just love it. It is so common out there. These rocks are just about everywhere. You can stop along the side of one of those dirt roads out there in West Texas where it's safe to pick up rocks, not on the private property. And if you look closely, you will find these little moss agates. They're out there, I'm telling you. This one's kind of fun. It has little, just tiny pieces of, let's just call it spaghetti. You see those in there? Just floating in the chalcedony. Look at that in there. Just taking a bath in that beautiful blue West Texas agate. Here's a pretty red one. Same thing. You got all that mossiness in there. Wow. Here's a fun one that has a neat design on this side, but it's the other side that makes me really like it because if you look, it's got that candy corn effect where you have the 3 different colors there, plus a tiny little quartzy pocket right there with some banding. So this has it all, the candy corn and the quartz. I think I liked candy corns as a kid. I don't remember, but I believe I did. Nowadays, I think if I were to eat one, I probably wouldn't be so enamored, but as a little guy, especially around Halloween. Oh, I would eat those suckers up. Of course, I had to show you one of these quartzy ones. Notice that within the quartz, you see there's some pink or some red in there. That's interesting. Otherwise, it doesn't do much for me, but I do like, you can see it right there at the bottom, I do like that pinkish color right at the edge of the quartz. Now this one's interesting. It appears to be mostly quartz as well, but if you look closely, you can see tiny little red veins in there. And over here, you can see little, like almost sticks in there. Check that. Oh, I like that up there. So obviously, it is chalcedony with quartz. Oh, what a fun rock this is. This one may be my favorite so far. This one's small, but it packs quite a punch because it has this beautiful little section right here. See that? Nice quartz there. Now check out the other side, even more to enjoy. Oh, I like that. You got the red right there. Very cool. And yet another one that shows tremendous mossiness. Look at this. Wow, that's beautiful. Even that little vug right there. Look inside there. Tiny, tiny, tiny little botryoidal bumps. Maybe I could have tumbled these longer. I probably could have. And I still can, but I'm happy with the way they turned out. Here's an oddly shaped one, which must be the sister piece to the candy corn we saw earlier. There, you can clearly see that delineation of those three colors. Remember, all these were cut in half, so if I took the time, I could probably figure out which ones went with which ones. But that's no fun. Well, let's just look at them this way. Check out this interesting rock here. As you can see, it has rhyolite on it for sure. That's, well, I'm going to call it this area right up here with those little tiny crystals in it. Takes an okay shine, not a great shine, but then the rest of it over here, you see we have lots of chalcedony right there. So there's a nice comparison between the, I guess that's rhyolite down there and the chalcedony. And then this stuff up here that doesn't shine, I call that host rock. That's my limited geology knowledge right there. Any of the ugly surfaces you see, I just call host rock. Yeah, I like it overall. Too bad this one is so small because it is really something. Let me see if I can show you some of the detail in this. Look at that right there. You see it has pluming, obviously, but that pluming is like a metallic pluming. You see that? Wow, how interesting is that? And it looks like we have quartz up at the top. This is quite the agate right here. I wish it were bigger and tumbled a little bit smoother because I find that super interesting right there. Now maybe this is my new favorite rock. Yeah, I know. This one is kind of ugly on this side, very coarse, not even very shiny, but check out this side. And what I like about it is the little crystal vug right there. Because as you can see, there are tiny sort of bands around it, red. So that actually saves this rock. Otherwise, it would almost be a throwaway. But I like that right there. And the rest, doesn't do much for me. Now this one's very dark, but if you look closely, let's see if I can get the light to hit it just right. Yeah, right in there. You can see the banding in there. See that? On the lower side. Yeah, right there. You can definitely see it. It's just a very dark agate. Took a good shine. Here's the other half of that quartzy rock. I'm showing you this because I think it looks even better than the other one. Look at that right in there. Those sort of eyeball looking things. That's pretty. Yeah, once again, didn't tumble very well. Sorry about that. But at least we get that. This rock kind of stands out in the group because it doesn't appear very agatey at all. Although, now that I'm looking at it up close, I can see some chalcedony in there for sure. What I like about it, though, are all the colors. You see you've got yellow and pink and white and maybe even some green in there. And lots of those little vugs, those little crystal pockets. Yeah, still kind of coarse. Didn't take a great shine, but as a colorful rock goes, that's not too bad. I just had to show you the other big blue. We saw one half of this earlier. Look at that red in there on the corner. And that darkness in there, that inclusion that has the little, like the rough edge. You see that? That's cool. Yeah, I like when these rocks tumble like this and maintain those coarse areas to sort of counter the really shiny chalcedony part. I think that's a good look. Now here's the other half of a rock we looked at earlier. I referred to it as one of my favorites because it's quartzy, yet it has those amazing little like red veins in there. You see those? Look at that in there. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I know. It's not a particularly good tumble and it has some host rock right there. But if you can look past that, I think you'll agree this is an awesome little rock. Here's another type of agate that's very common out there in West Texas. This mossy agate, which is sort of it's a yellowish brown color, right? But you can clearly see the mossy details within it. I love all that. That's super intricate. Look inside there. Look at the amazing detail. How does nature do it? I know. This one doesn't look like much from this side. It's dark, it's coarse. But as you start rotating it, check out all the colors in here and all the intricate design. Oh, that's definitely agate, right? Look at that. Oh, how interesting. I wish this one were bigger and took a better tumble because it is a pretty outstanding little rock. I just had to show you this one. Once again, it has that dark area that's coarse, but look at the beautiful chalcedony on this one. And those eyeballs in there. That is super cool, I think. Yeah, I hope you agree. Okay, I'll just show you a couple more. This one, of course, is that yellow mossiness. But what I like about it is, look at that. It's got some quartz in there. Lots more of the chalcedony. That's pretty. And speaking of pretty, look at this one. It's very small, but you can see on this side it's got something going on. Check out this side. Let me see if I can get the light on it just right. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Wow. A beautiful little agate. I like that a lot. Another one of these mossy beauties. Look at this. I like this side right here. I think that's just awesome. Hope you agree. I could just stare at these things forever. They are so detailed. Okay, last two. This is the second half of the one I think I opened this video with. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you see it's got that beautiful red mossiness in there. Some more interesting detail right there. And even some quartz. Maybe I will get these tumbling again, try to get them smoother. Obviously I can break this corner off right here. Go a few more weeks in the coarse grid. Well, we'll see. I'm pretty happy though with the way they turned out, so I'll probably not do anything with these. Okay, I've saved the best for last. Look at this amazing one here. Is that a painting or what? Check that out. Wow. Yeah, just drink that in. I just love these West Texas agates. Look at that. So much in there, including quartz. For all you quartz lovers out there, and I know you're out there, I try to give something to everybody here. All different tastes. I don't mind quartz. I give it a hard time. But in the right circumstance, like here, for example, it can look good because not only do we have the chalcedony surrounding it, but there's some red chalcedony right there too. So to my eye, that's a nice look. Hope you agree. Once again, rock lovers, thank you for coming along with me on this little rock tumbling adventure. I think we got some pretty good results. Not perfectly tumbled results, but shiny and beautiful results, which is really all you can ask for, right? Well, that's not entirely true. They could have been perfectly tumbled, but they weren't. So we all have to live with that. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and please remember to check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again.